You have some idea to talk about? What should we talk about? All right. You have nothing to suggest. So I'll go on, shall I? What do you think is right action? When you ask that question, each one will offer his own opinions according to his own experience, prejudice, opinion, and say, this is the right action. If you asked a Catholic, a Protestant, a Buddhist, so on, they have their own point of view, right? Have you a point of view about this? About this question, what is right action? Not only in a particular incident, but what is right action under all circumstances? Is there such thing? Or, varying according to circumstances, pressures, and one's own inclination and desires, you act. So, such actions bring about contradictory activities, right? You understand? Of course. Clear, that's clear. Now we are asking, is there an action? Carefully think it out with me. Is there an action that doesn't contradict, that doesn't vary according to circumstances, according to a particular demand, or what you wish to do? Is there an action that is whole, not broken up? Business action, family action, communal action, right? Personal action. Those are all broken up, aren't they? Now we are asking, is there an action which is not broken up, which is not fragmented, which is whole? Right? Have you understood the question? Is there such an action? Or all our life, during all our life, it is always broken up. Sometimes very pleasant, other times not, regretful, guilty, miserable, contradictory, which we all know, right? So what shall we do to find out? Hmm? Don't you want to find out an action that doesn't create a problem? Either for yourself or for the person with whom you happen to be either a friend, intimate, husband, wife, boy and girl. So that in your action, there is no, it doesn't create a problem which you have to solve, fight. So can we live a life which has no problem whatsoever? Ron Shankar. Because we're always, from the moment we're born, perhaps, till about 5 or 6, we have all the time problems till we die. Haven't you noticed it? Why do we live that way? There are physical problems. One is ill, one has heart trouble, liver trouble, or one has cancer. And why do we make of it into a problem? You understand my question? Go with me, discuss it with me, have a dialogue with me. Suppose I have cancer. Why do I make a problem of it? I've got cancer. The doctor tells me, and that it must be operated, that I have few days to live or few years to live. And I get so agitated, I'm so frightened, and that fear, agitation, the responsibility which I have undertaken, and the ending of that responsibility, the attachment to my family, to my daughter, to my wife, to my son, and so on and so on. And I make this whole issue of cancer into a tremendous problem. You understand? Why? Which is, why do we make life into such a terrible affair with so many difficulties, so many problems? Why? Go on. Please, I'm talking so that you're also, in listening, you're also investigating with me. You're not just sitting there and just listening to a lot of words which have then will have no meaning. But if we are together going into this, right? Because we are concerned with your life. At least the speaker is for the moment. I'm really concerned. Why you make of life into a problem? I've got cancer. Yes, I've got a cancer, right? I've got to be operated, go through a lot of pain. All right. But what takes place? Go on, think it out with me. What takes place? I've got cancer. I haven't got it, but I'm saying suppose. Suppose I have cancer. Why am I frightened about it? Go on, answer me. Why am I frightened? Is it the pain? Is it that I'm going to have a lot of pain? And therefore, I don't want pain, and I'm frightened. Right? Which is what? Watch it carefully. The doctor tells me I have cancer. I think about it. By thinking about it, I create a future which might give me pain. But if I said, all right, I've got cancer, I'll go through it. Whatever the pain, what happens. But instinctively, very quickly, my reaction is, oh Lord, what's going to happen? You understand? So one finds that fear arises when you are not actually facing the fact. We went into that the other day. The fact and the non-fact, remember? The non-fact is the future. I might have pain. I might die. But the fact is I have got this disease. To remain with it, to understand, yes, I've got it. Can you do that? Can we ever do that? That is, only be with what is happening, and not what should happen or what might happen. You understand? Will you do it? Go on. Will you do it? Because you see, we create problems. First we create them. Then we are anxious to solve them. Right? And the solution may be wrong, and we get frightened about it. So we are in constant state of anxiety, constant assuming that there might be difficulty, and so on. Of course, there are going to be difficulties, but one will meet them as they arise. You're following all this? So I'm asking you, why do we have problems? And why we have so broken up in our activities that we can never find an action that is complete, whole. You understand my question? You've understood my question. What do you say to that?
Well, problems keep you busy. Problems
Keep you busy. Problems keep you occupied. Is that it? Why do you want to be occupied? Think it out carefully. Don't just throw out a word. Why is your mind wanting to be occupied with what might happen, what is happening, and so on, occupied? Why? Have you noticed your minds are occupied all the time? Hmm? There isn't a moment when it's quiet, when it's unoccupied. Have you? Now I'm asking you, why is it occupied? One has to go to, at the end of the holidays, term, one has to go home, or whatever one does. Why is the mind occupied? What you will do when you get back? One problem, occupied. Or occupied with your mathematics, with your exams, with what people might say, with your looks, with your, all the rest of it. It's occupied. Why? It's the same with the young and with the old, right? Completely occupied. Occupation is not planning, is it? One has to go to Switzerland or America or to India. I plan. Go to the, get a ticket. I plan. That's not occupation, right? So what do we mean by being occupied? Go on. I don't want to talk all the time. This is a dialogue. Play the game. The ball is in your court. So, take it. Reply. Why is your mind occupied? Worrying about things that might happen. That have happened. That is the past. Occupied with the past, incidents, happenings, or occupied with the future happenings, and so on. Why? We said occupied, right? Whether the past or the future. Why is it occupied? Why is the mind filled with all this? Is that it?
I think it's because our minds it's sort of, we don't want to be still in case we find out that it's empty when we don't know what's in the emptiness.
You mean, are you saying that if you're not occupied, you get frightened?
Well, we don't know what to expect.
I see. You don't know the state of the mind, a state of a mind that's not occupied. Is that it? All right, don't bother about that. But I'm asking, why are you occupied? You understand my question? Not the state of, not the quality of a mind that's not occupied. Put that aside. That's just an idea, because it isn't actual, right? Now, why is the mind occupied?
Partly just habit.
Is it habit?
Also, we always think we have to be doing something.
Yes, that is, you have used your culture, your education, your environment says, do something, don't be quiet. Right? Is that it? Go on, inquire into it.
But also sometimes we want to be quiet and we don't manage to.
Now wait, you want to be quiet and perhaps manage it somehow. Then your occupation will be, I have been quiet and I must be quiet. That was a nice state when I was not occupied. Now and that quiet state becomes the occupation. You follow? That's what generally people do when they talk about meditation. They're occupied with meditation. You follow? Practice, sitting quietly, concentrating, doing. They're not active physically, but something is happening inside. You're following all this? So they're all occupied. I am asking you, please go into it carefully. Why is your mind occupied? You understand the movement of occupation? There is emptiness, and something comes into it, occupies it. A house is empty, and you occupy it. You buy it, and you put your furniture. You occupy it. You inhabit it. You dwell in it. Don't please answer me. Think it out. Exercise your brain. Why are you occupied?
Mostly because you want to.
Huh?
You want to be occupied.
Why? Are you
It's a good feeling that you're doing something.
So you are saying doing something is.
It gives you the feeling you're not wasting your time.
I used to know a friend. He became a Catholic. And they gave him, from morning till night, something to occupy himself with. You understand? Not go to church, but think about Ave Maria. I won't go into all that. Think about all that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Be occupied. Think about Jesus. Think about the Mass. Think about all day. Poor chap. Don't you know, aren't you doing the same? Huh? Don't you know people who are occupied with politics, planning, seeking power, position, what to do, how to govern the country, reduce inflation, and so on and on and on. They're occupied. You're not answering my question. Why is your mind occupied with what? Would you be occupied if you want to buy a dress about it? A dress. Would your mind be saying, well, I'm going to buy this, that, and all day, or be occupied with it? That's rather silly. Right? But if somebody hurt you, not physically, inwardly, psychologically, would you be occupied with that? Huh? That means the hurt has occupied your mind. Right? Like a house, like a man entering into a house and occupying it. What is the answer? Why is your mind occupied? Don't go to sleep. You have to find an answer. Because it's a problem in life.
There's the idea that thinking in self is
All right, let me put it differently. Is your mind is full of thought? Is your mind thinking all the time? I must do this, I shouldn't do that, I should have said that, this is right, I'm not so beautiful as you. You follow? Thinking. About if you have a job, you think about your job, your career, all the time thinking. Is that what you're saying? Now, is it possible, listen quietly, find out, is it possible to have a mind that's not thinking all the time? You think when it's necessary, and not think otherwise. Go on, sis. It's very important for you to find out, for all of us, young or old, because then, and I mustn't say what happens then, because then that becomes reward and punishment, right? Like a carrot for a donkey. Go on. Yeah.
But the purpose of the mind. One of the purposes of the mind is to think.
What?
Yeah. So, one of the main purposes of the mind is to think. So.
Why do you say that? You say one of the purposes of the mind is to think. And also isn't one of the purposes of the mind not to think?
I think if what has its rest in the night and things like that.
If you look, Ravi, how your haircut. Look, Ravi. If you're thinking all the time, it becomes mechanical, doesn't it? You may think about something non-mechanical. By thinking about it, it becomes mechanical. Right? No, this is very important to find out. Please go into it carefully. If the mind is occupied and it's become a habit, that occupation becomes mechanical. Whether he's a scientist or a politician or a priest or a philosopher or just an ordinary person, right? Being occupied with something all the time makes the mind mechanical. Right? Do you see that? Not see it as an idea, but actual fact. If I keep a motor running all day and all night, it's finished. It wears itself out. Right?
Yes, but you might think about the things in a different way each time, which is not mechanical.
I said, no. If you think about it, and be occupied with it, then it becomes mechanical. I think about going to the dentist, planning, going, sitting in the chair, and having beastly pain. I think it's so, right? But why is my mind occupied with it? Because you don't want pain, but the truth hurts. No, you're not going into it, sir. You're not going, you're answering superficially. You are not delving, going deeply into the question. You do. Why a mind is occupied, and being occupied about anything must inevitably reduce itself into a mechanical routine, repetition. You understand?
Is it possible that that your mind doesn't, that you don't want to be in a state when you're not thinking anything, you want to be occupied with something, you're scared of, say, silence?
Yes. Are you saying, Ravi, that if you're not occupied, you're frightened?
Yeah.
Huh? Is that so?
No, I'm not saying, is it I'm trying, is it possible that it's like that?
Or
Is it right now, doesn't
have you
want to be-
tried, Ravi?
No, I'm not.
Try it. Do it now. Now. Don't do it tomorrow or when you get to your room. Do it now. Find out as you are looking, as you are sitting there, why is your mind occupied? And are you frightened if it's not occupied? Which means what? If you're frightened, there are several things are implied in it. Breaking a habit, and not knowing what will happen next, right? You've got used to certain pattern of thinking, and the mind says, I've been trained, educated, conditioned to function in patterns, in grooves. Right? Right? One has been educated as a doctor, a surgeon, and you're occupied with that. And a surgeon who is not occupied says, what am I to do? You follow? So that. Or the mind itself has become so mechanical. Mechanical in the sense, like a machine. So it daren't stop being occupied, thinking. Now, which is it? Which is what's happening to you? Find out. Go on, Ravi, think it out carefully. Don't imagine, see how your mind is occupied, with whatever it is, and see how mechanical it has become in the occupation. And also see the consequences of that, which is the brain constantly occupied, soon wears out. Occupied with a problem. I know a person, he was hurt psychologically when he was quite young. And he has carried that hurt, and he is now 70. He's carrying it with him. And he's occupied with that hurt. You following on? Are you carrying the burden of occupation? And can you end it?
It seems that the mind is so mechanical, as you said, that it doesn't want to stop being occupied. And so
All right, we have observed what is occupation, mechanical, all the rest of it. We've gone into it. Now, the next step is, see if you can find out whether it can end.
Seems like sometimes you can do that when there's no distraction.
What?
Sometimes you can do that when there's no distraction, when you can only look at that. But then when something, happens or something, then you fall.
When something happens, examine it, watch it, think about it, look at it. But why carry it on? You're not meeting this. You see, you are already being very young, you're already old. Have you noticed that? Not in body, but your mind are already old. Because you're so occupied with something or other. A mind that's young, fresh, is free. No?
when I'm not particularly occupied with something, some consequences that are going to take place in the future or something that's happened in the past, when I'm just, my mind is still going on, but let's say I'm playing with, trying to, end that occupation, it seems that I get to a point where it may, something happens, but there's always the thought that still pulls you backwards. It may come in with a
Yes, I understand.
song, a word, a picture or something.
Quite. You understand? If it is not occupied all the time, when there is some space, then you can look at life anew. You understand? There's some new action, new point of view, new observation, something new can take place. But if it's all the time,
But it seems that if ever you see there is that space, it is destroyed because right away, almost
it cannot be destroyed. Once you see that occupation, I've explained it, is destructive, is dangerous, makes the mind dull. It's not pliable, it's not quick, it's not sensitive. If you see that, not verbally, actually, then the space is not something that happens occasionally. Right? You follow this? Do you see the danger of this occupation? Which inevitably is concerned with problems. Problems. Problems being something which has not been solved. Right? If I've quarreled with you, and it becomes a problem if I don't end it. Right? So I'll come to you and say, I'm so sorry. Apologize for what I did. Let's forget it. It's finished. Right? Can we do that? That is, you have said something to me which is ugly, and I've been hurt. And can I say I've been hurt? What do you mean by discuss? Go, you follow? Talk it over. Finish. Not carry on. Will you do that? That means, watch it carefully, that means you are aware of your reactions, right? You've said something rather in anger or brutally, and it hurts, and see it hurts, and come to you and say, you have said this, let's talk it over and finish with it. So that the hurt has no place in my mind. And will you do this? So that your mind is always fresh. Otherwise you're not young. All right, let's put it on the other way. We have problems, right? Actually, we have problems. Physical problems. Oh, I wish some, problems, physical problems. Then, psychological problems. Psychological problems are based on relationship, aren't they? Are you sure? You're following this? Right? One is married, or one has friends, or all that, and the relationship between two people creates a problem. As inevitably always. However, they might say, I love you, I'm this, all that, but deeply it creates a problem. There are problems in relationship. Now, my question is it possible not to create problems in relationship? Go on, sir. This is your life. Don't go to sleep. If you want rest, because you can't concentrate more than, or be attentive for more than 10 minutes, we'll stop. But it's your life, you're going to find out why in relationship there are problems. Sexual, the whole business of it. Don't you know all about it? Or am I telling you something you don't know? You know about it, don't you? Yes. So, Ravi, are you thinking about something else? obviously. Why do people have, and as you will have, or you are having, problems in relationship? I love you, you don't love me. That's one of the ordinary problems. The other problem is, you are bossing me and I'm rather gentle. Or I'm bossing you and you don't like it, right? I'm attached to you. I want you to be always with me and not go away from me, and I hold on to you, and you don't want to be held. You want freedom. Geez, freedom to look at somebody else, and so on, so on, so on. And I get jealous, I get angry. You follow, this whole problem arises. Now, can you have a relationship in which there is no problem whatsoever? Which means what? That you are not self-centered. Is that what you're saying? Huh? Huh? No, you forget your opinions. Will you do that? Don't say anything that you don't do. Otherwise it just becomes ideas. You follow words words have no meaning by themselves. If you say, look, I'm self-centered, and as long as I'm self-centered, concerned about myself, my ambition, my looks, my desires, my way of looking at the world, my opinions, my judgments, as long as I'm concerned with myself, I will inevitably create problems in my relationship. Right? So, you see that. So will you be self-centered? Just watch it carefully. Suppose you are not self-centered, and I am. I'm your sister, your brother, your husband, your father. I'm self-centered, you are not. Then what happens? You have to go. Are you inquiring? Good. What happens? You are not self-centered, another is self-centered. And you have this relationship. Watch it carefully. You marry a Catholic, and you are not a Catholic. Immediately there's a problem. Of course, if you are mildly Catholic, it's not much of a problem. But if you are practicing Catholic, you want to bring up your children as Catholics, and the father says, no, sorry, I'm not, I won't have it. Problem. The father says, I want my son go to Eton, and mother says, I want them go to Brockwood. I doubt it. And there's a problem. You follow? See what is happening in life. For God's sake, see it, because you are going to face this. And the older people have that. It's their burden. It's a tragedy. Isn't it a thing that you just laugh about? It's a tremendous drama, tragedy, misery. So, as you said, as long as one is self-centered. That is, just watch it. As long as one is occupied with oneself, with my view, with one's views, with one's etc., etc., you invariably create a problem. Which means what? Are you following all this? Or am I leading you or just following? That is, as long as one is self-centered, there must be division, right? You are self-centered, so am I. Immediately there is division. I might say to you, I love you. We must be married, we must all, but as long as I'm self-centered, in spite of marriage, in spite of going to church and all the rest of it, there is division. Right? Can this division be bridged? Follow it carefully. That is, I am an Arab and you are a Jew. I'm using those words without any derogatory, without any sense of insult. I'm an Arab and you're a Jew. Immediately there is a division, right? And so we are at each other's throat. That thing goes right through life. Right? So can you, when you see this fact, can you, in your life, be not self-centered? Or say, all right, I'm self-centered, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to watch my reactions. I'm going to see that they don't interfere. Do you understand? Both of us must do this. You may do it, I may not do it. Then I create a problem for you. You understand? If we both do it, we're walking together.
But if I'm not self-centered and someone else is, how do I deal with it then?
Beg your pardon?
If I'm not self-centered and someone is, and say I'm married to them.
So what will you? You are self-centered. I am not. First find out. What's our relationship? If I'm a casual visitor, a stranger, it doesn't matter. I don't even pay attention to you. But if we have to live in the same house, then how will you deal with me?
There's just so much I can do.
No, find out. Don't say, find out what you will do. You're not self-centered. Your husband, your wife, your brother is self-centered. What is your responsibility? Because you are living in the same house. If you are a stranger, it's very simple. Like two ships passing by at night. But if you are living in the same boat, and the boat happens to be very small, and you are not self-centered, and the other fellow is self-centered. What is your responsibility? This is life, isn't it? What's your responsibility?
Try and make him not self-centered.
Huh?
Try and make him not self-centered.
Are you quite sure you are not self-centered?
No, I didn't say I was.
Oh boy, either that, then it's merely verbal exchange. I'm not interested in verbal exchange. How will you deal with it? Go into it. Find out if you are self-centered and I am not. And what is my responsibility towards you? Have I any? Definition is okay. Don't go to sleep. By Jove, you cannot. Are you getting tired? It's now. We've talked for an hour. If you're tired, we'll stop. No? You're not tired. You're really thinking, observing. I'm asking you. When they are married, but inwardly separate, they feel terribly responsible. Right? Don't they? He goes out to earn money, or she also goes out, responsible to have children, to see that the children, all that. But if one is not self-centered and the other is, what is the responsibility of the man or the woman who is not self-centered?
Krishnaji, I wonder if that's a wrong question in that we all are self-centered.
Beg pardon?
I wonder if that's the right question because it seems that all of us in this boat are self-centered.
So I'm asking one, all right, if we are all self-centered, then what shall we do? You're self-centered, your friend is self-centered, so everyone is more or less self-centered. One is less, one is more. What's your responsibility?
Isn't there a great need for interest in other people?
Beg pardon?
Understanding.
Beg pardon?
Is there a great need for interest in other people, tolerance and understanding, even if you are self-centered?
Does my responsibility involve correcting him? Showing him?
You may be wrong too.
We all do. But something much more is demanded, isn't it? I want a few.
I think your responsibility is in changing yourself first.
Huh?
Because you can't really change other people. Your responsibility is in changing yourself.
You are beginning to change yourself. You say, well, I'm self-centered. You see what the nature of self-centeredness. And you say, all right, you're working at it. And the other fellow with whom you are living is totally unaware of it. What's your responsibility towards him? First, to tell him. Will he listen to you? So, he may not listen to you. Or he may say you are a conceited ass. You think you are, but you actually are not. You follow the relationship? So what will you do?
Try and find a way of telling him so he will listen.
Are you listening now? Huh? What will make another? Oh no, I'll put it very much simpler. What will make you listen to what one is saying? Listen, not words, but go beyond the words, get the feeling of it. And what will make you listen to that, to what one is saying? Go on. Huh?
Seeing the necessity of it. Seeing the necessity of it.
Do you? Have you listened this morning? See, why is your mind occupied? Have you listened? The mind that's occupied, which gradually becomes self-centered, creates a problem. And when there is a problem, there is no relationship. In the deep sense of the word, you may hold hands and all the rest of it, but deep relationship in that sense of complete communion. You understand? So, have you listened to all that? Listened, which means that you have really received it completely. So that it's part of you. So how will I make you listen? It's not a problem for me. But I'm just asking you. I want you to listen. That's why I talk. And you don't listen. You listen partially. And you say, yes, I understand it, but you don't. You don't listen completely. So how am I going to make you listen?
Force people to listen.
But I want you to. What am I to do?
Try to show us the danger of being real.
Huh?
Try to show us the danger of being real.
You want to tell Diane something, and she won't listen to you. Listen in the sense as you want her to listen. What will you do? It's your responsibility to tell her something. No, you think it out slowly. You'll find an answer. Yes, sir, why aren't you listening? If you listen, the thing is very simple, isn't it? It's solved, finished. Why don't you listen? And what will make you listen? What will make the man who is self-centered listen to a man who is not self-centered? If there is such a human being.
I think the first philosophy of care.
Have you listened this morning that how important it is to have a mind that's not all the time occupied? Have you listened to that? Not how to be unoccupied, but have you listened to that one statement completely? All right, let me put it differently. What will help you to be attentive? You are looking out of the window when I'm talking. Or you're thinking about something else and you're not paying attention. How am I to help you to be attentive? I want you to be attentive. I say, yeah, it's very, very important to be attentive. Not only to what I'm saying, that's not so, but to be attentive, to watch, to listen to your own reactions, to your own prejudices, to your own conceits and vanities and all the rest of it. Just to listen to it. What will make you attentive? Help you to be attentive. Not quite, sir. Just wait. Look at it carefully. You're looking out of the window, and I'm telling you something. So what is my responsibility? Go on. See, follow it through, you'll find out. All right. You're looking out of the window, right? I want you to be attentive. Attentive to what you have happening. My responsibility is what? No, you haven't thought it out carefully. Don't say that. My responsibility is to help you to be attentive, to have the quality of attention.
So that person can look out of the window.
Wait, sir, carefully watch it. My responsibility lies in helping you to be attentive. Not about the book, not about what is being said, but the quality of attention, right? So when you are looking out of the window, I help you to look out of the window, that you see what you're looking at clearly, with attention. You follow what I mean? That's why, because my concern is to help you to be attentive. Moment you have that quality, it doesn't matter. You will inevitably look at the book or listen to what is being said. You get it? So don't make a conflict or have a conflict about being attentive. You understand what I'm saying? I wish you would learn all this.
Not sure. I mean, if you look outside the window, then your attention is outside.
Yes,
So you have attention.
that's all. You have attention. And I help you to look out of the window. I said, look very carefully, look at that rhododendron, the colors, the beauty of it, the shape of it, the quality of the leaf, the sunshine on the leaf. Look at it completely. But with my intention is to help you to have this quality of attention. If you have that, and you follow, then when you pay attention, you've got this. Will you? So, wait a minute. Are you attentive now? Right? So you listen. How do you listen with attention? When there is attention, how do you listen? Go slowly. When there is complete attention, are you listening? Have you discovered something? Any of you? You are inattentive, right? And when you see what it means to be attentive, in which there is no conflict, because you are attending. Now, what is the state of listening when you are completely attentive?
Devoting all your energy to whatever you're
What?
being attentive to.
What?
You're devoting all your energy to whatever is being attentive to.
Yes, you are giving your complete energy. Hmm? Right? What happens then?
Get yourself to it. You're not thinking about it.
No, you're not going to it carefully.
You're listening to everything. Not only
I understand. I'm asking something else. What is the state of your mind which is attentive and listening? Wait, yours, for the moment, your mind is attentive, right? I'm telling you, an occupied mind is mechanical and divisive. You understand the word divisive? So I'm telling you that. How do you, in that state of attention, how do you receive it? You understand? That's communication, isn't it? Instantly you have understood it. Have you?
Because there's no thought occupying.
That's it. That's what I want to get at. You've got it? Daphne? Pisco? Have you got it? That is, when you are completely attentive, we have established between you and another a communication which is verbal and yet non-verbal, which means you have really understood. I'd say, for example, first you are attentive. Now listen carefully, you are attentive. And I say to you, nationalism is very destructive. Right? What happens? You are attentive, you are nationalistic, and somebody makes a statement that nationalism is most destructive. What has happened?
one is free to listen to that.
Huh? You've listened. I said to you, you are attentive. Now, and when somebody makes a statement of that kind, which is true, because nationalism is dividing people, wars, which is true, what happens to you?
You may be nationalistic.
And then you see what happens. You are nationalistic. What happens when you are attentive?
See the truth of that statement.
Huh?
See the truth of that statement.
when you are attentive and you receive an actual statement which has logically and so on, the truth, you drop your nationalism. It's over. Because you understand, you're given complete energy to it. I wonder if you understand this. Got it? If I say to you, career is the only thing in life, and you are greatly attentive in the sense we have explained it, what happens to the mind that is caught in that particular pattern of wanting a career? Huh? That's right. Go on, sir. Think it out. Observe the state of attention first and see in that attention what takes place. It's only when there is inattention, when there is no attention, you have problems. You got it? Do you understand this? I think we ought to stop, shouldn't we? I mean, hungry. All right. Wait a minute, I'll finish. Have you learned something this morning? Not from me. You have learned by observing, right, yourself. So, you are not being taught. So you have discovered something for yourself, right? Right? Therefore, when you discover something for yourself, you are not a second-hand human being. Right? That's all. Shall we get up?